Hello guys, today we are going to learn how to lane like Team Secret.Zai. The laning stage is really important and many games of Dota 2 are won and lost in the laning stage. So without further ado, let's see what techniques and tips and tricks that Zai uses for the offlane. Zai likes to fight for the bounty runes at the start of every single game. In this X game for example, he hits up here with his Chen and they manage to do a lot of damage to the enemy, forcing them to use many tangles even before the laning stage starts, while Zai does not even need to use a single one.
It's in the back.
The battle begins.
In this next clip, we see how Zai positions to prevent the enemy from last hitting, putting his body in front of the creeps. This is very important to do if your hero has a favorable matchup against the carry.
You deserve nothing.
Now, we are going to see how Zai pressures the carry while his creeps are under the enemy tower. When you harass the carry or when the enemy support pulls, your creep wave will push into the safe lane tower. Zai does not play passively and tries to deny his creeps, while making sure not to draw tower aggro. When the next creep wave reaches the tower, Zai goes to cut it. This way, he is indirectly causing Spectre to take damage by forcing him to tank the Radiant creeps. Here, we see Zai positioning inside the creep wave once again to zone out the Spectre and diving him once his creeps are under the tower. He even uses fortification to make sure the creeps don't die to the tower and they kill the Witch Doctor. Here we have Zai playing offlane Phoenix. Once again, he is setting up for the bounty rune and look what happens at his bot lane. Dyer is actually contesting and the enemy carry lone druid is alone. If Zai was not positioned here, his team would have only gotten one rune. So lesson learned guys, always contest for the bounty rune. In this clip, we see Zai abusing creep aggro. You should do this when your hero is weaker than the carry. Lone Druid can easily out-deny and out-harass a Phoenix early on, so Zai keeps drawing creep aggro by clicking on the carry and by making the enemy creeps come closer to him, so that he can easily land some fire spirits on the Lone Druid when he comes up to deny. Now, we see once again what Zai does to pressure the carry when his creeps are under the tower. He follows his creeps and tries to deny them, and when the next enemy creep wave comes, he cuts and drags it back to his tower for easy CS and EXP. Look how being aggressive for the rune once again destroys the enemy carry and gets Zai and his laning support in this game 2 kills. He would have missed those kills if he was just chilling at his own rune. Now, we see Zai drawing creep aggro again. Trading hits with an anti-mage is a really bad idea as a partner. so Zai aggroes the radiant creeps back to make it more difficult for the enemy or the support to hit him while he is CSing. He also uses his spells to prevent the enemy AM from getting last hits.
Not while I'm around.
In this clip, Zai once again uses his body to block the carry from getting CS. Since he has built up an advantage in lane, he is no longer going to sit behind his creeps and is now directly aggressively zoning the anti-mage. However, once Zai notices that his Bat Rider has gone mid, he does not do this, since this technique puts him in a very vulnerable position. Therefore, he resumes aggroing the creeps instead. Now look what Zai does again when his creep wave goes under the enemy safe lane tower. He immediately goes past his creeps to catch the incoming enemy creep wave, and continues to zone the AM back. Just like all the times we saw him do this technique results in him getting a significant EXP and gold advantage. Since he is a partner, he brings these creeps back all the way until his rune area spawn so that he can farm them up with his spells. If you are playing a hero that can farm creep waves extremely quickly, you should be using and abusing this trick to further your lead in the lane. In this Mars replay, Zai once again invades the enemy rune spawn with his support. He starts trading hits with the carry, and does quite a lot of damage. He also manages to get the rune. Very worth. Sometimes, the carry player will aggro your creeps into his range creep. He does this commonly to deny it, just like what this fan is doing. Zai just aggroes Sven's creeps into his own range creep instead, and he immediately goes for the enemy range creep CS. Always prioritize range creeps when you're in the lane. Here, we see how Zai uses creep aggro to secure CS, but also making it a point to try and deny the Sven whenever he can.
Not today.
In this clip, we have another example of Zai putting his hero's body in the creep wave to stop the enemy Sven from getting any CS. Look at how effectively he is able to zone the Sven with just his hero's presence in the lane, and there's nothing that the Sven can do against it. Even when Sven pulls his own creeps back, Zai goes after the Sven and continues to zone him out. Once again, Zai goes back and prioritizes the range creep CS. Zai always goes to contest supports who try to pull against him. Here, he goes after the Chen to steal the wave and bring it to his tower for easy CS. He is also intentionally tanking the creeps in front of his tower to delay his next creep wave from reaching the Sven. As you can see, Zai's aggression in lane coupled with his insane knowledge of creep aggro manipulation makes him a very good offlaner. Hopefully we can use the tips and tricks seen here today to gain some sweet MMR in our next few games. I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of video and I look forward to making more in the future. Just let me know what you think in the comment section below and don't forget to like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Until then, I'll see you in the next video.